Hey, everybody, this is Vinny Martella, the Vanilla Fudge lead guitarist. And thank you for listening to Rock On Radio. And keep listening to Rock On Radio with Danny Coleman. And keep it rocking, people. God bless you.
Well,
hello again.
Here we are again at the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment. What?
Imagine that.
Oh, well, you were pointing at your ears. I thought maybe there was something.
No, I just saying. Imagine that.
I got to do that hand motion,
Wave like a royal.
like a canter.
Oh, I've done that too.
Yes. Okay.
That's different.
All right.
That's different than.
Excellent. Welcome to Rock On Radio. I am your host, Danny Coleman. Producer Claire is here. Madison is not.
It's okay.
Yeah. She's
She's
got
allowed.
2 weeks off now. This week and next week, she won't be joining us.
That's okay. I'm sure she'll make it up when she comes back.
Yeah, right. Sure she will. She'll probably come back with munchies. Yo, dude. And then she was off for her birthday. She's out of control.
She's off for her birthday too.
Youth is lost on the young.
Oh, this is a very special birthday for her.
Yeah, for me too.
You won't be locked up for.
I won't be going to jail for giving a minor underage minor alcohol.
You're of age. No.
It was Bruce.
No, that's right.
Who's that for, Madison? Yeah, why? She's not 21. What do you mean she's not 21? Like, you're not 21? No. Well, don't tell anybody about it.
Her father was there too, so that's okay.
Yeah. Excellent. Exactly. Welcome to Rock On Radio, which is sponsored by Code 3 Animal Rescue Transport.
What's the address? What's the
I don't know. Don't ask me.
code3rescue.org.
Oh, code3rescue.org. Where are they located anyway? Have we figured that out?
They usually, the Hamilton area is where they fly in and out of the Robbinsville airport.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And other ones too, because he coordinates rescue pilots and drivers all over the East Coast. So they come up, to different airports along the way.
Did you just say
Robbinsville?
rescue pirates? Arr.
I didn't say rescue pirates, did I? No, I didn't say rescue pirates.
Already you're betraying me, man?
Rescue.
You don't even know me and you're betraying me.
He knows which side his bread is buttered on. Exactly.
He's a good to the sand person.
Arr, they're rescue pirates.
Pilots.
Oh.
Not pilot. I'm not Asian. I say my L's.
Wow. I'm sorry, our Asian contingent that listens to us.
I didn't
faithfully.
mean to say it that way.
All three of you.
That's an accent.
I apologize for my producers.
You're the one that said I said pirates. I did not.
Code 3 Animal Rescue Transport. And
Be a foster home.
I thought they flew into like Fort Dix or something with the way they train these dogs.
Well, those that are learning how to fly Black Hawk helicopters, sure. Yes. But the other ones, they fly in and out
They
of
got
planes.
little doggy parachutes. Jump out of the Black Hawk after they empty a load of artillery.
No. I know that's a dream of yours, but
I'm
it's
going
not
to write an
happening.
entire book about Code 3 Animal Rescue Transport.
You could. You probably could make a lot of money.
It's going to be in the
Kids book.
What is it?
Pups Who Fly.
What the heck? Now I'm drawing a blank on the classical music. Is
that Star Wars?
No.
Oh.
Never mind.
Star Wars by
Lilliput's of Princeton. They are located inside the Princeton Shopping Center at 301 North Harrison Street. They are the official dessert provider of Rock On Radio. And Jen makes little hand grenades of happiness, and I eat them till I explode.
For 10 years now.
Yes, 10th anniversary recently. Lilliput's of Princeton. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey. They are the official caterers of Rock On Radio.
They also hosted my daughter's wedding.
Ah.
Yes.
How was it?
I'm sure it was absolutely amazing. Everything. They always do everything really good.
Oh, that's right. In the big room
In the big room.
where I frequent after golf tournaments.
Oh, very nice. It's a beautiful room. It's so beautiful. They do a really good job.
Yep. Convenient to the bathrooms right there.
They had your own
It's,
entrance to the back.
Yeah, well done.
So,
Well done.
yes.
O'Connor's American Bar and Grill. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation, jsjbf.org. Go to that site. You see everything that the foundation is up to. Claire and I will be hosting or emceeing the Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival on August 29th.
Very soon.
So we will be there, yes. We will be there to MC, or I will MC, and Claire will save me when people throw things at me.
Who said I would save you this time?
Oh, this time. All right, I'm sorry. I took that for granted.
That's right.
All right,
You have to treat me nice.
fine.
Maybe I'll save you.
Oh, that involves me
Maybe.
treating you well.
Yep, it does.
The struggle's real, people. The struggle is real. AsburyParkVibes.com. Go to AsburyParkVibes.com. If you are a band, a solo artist, realtor, anything that requires maybe some photography, like headshots or live video or stills of your band. If you have a website and you need a press release or a bio written, you go to AsburyParkVibes.com and ask for Diane. Tell her that you heard about it on Rock On Radio. NewJerseyStage.com. They are the finest arts and entertainment magazine that is all about the Garden State and just beyond. Go to NewJerseyStage.com and you will see all kinds of fantastic coverage,
Including yours.
including my column, Rock On This Week Soundbites, is part of the New Jersey Stage family, as well as this show on the Penguin Rocks.
Look under radio shows.
Yeah, radio shows. NewJerseyStage.com. Tyndall Road Brewing. Tyndall Road Brewing is the official beer provider of Rock On Radio.
Gotta have one of those.
That's right. They are located at 102 Farnsworth Avenue in Bordentown City, New Jersey. Go in there and ask for Danny's Pick, and they will give you the beer that I pick, and it goes on their menu, just as such. Danny's Pick.
We might have to pick a new one soon.
Yeah, it's got to be gone, or
Maybe
almost
for the
gone
fall.
by now. Yeah.
We should have another event. Pick a fall one.
We'll have to have a fall event. Last time we had that event, it went over very well.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Went over very well. So Tyndall Road Brewing, 102 Farnsworth Avenue, Bordentown City, New Jersey. Dee Dee's Lights. Dee Dee is the official chandler of Rock On Radio. She makes all of the candles that we put in our gift bags and charitable donations. Go to Dee Dee's Lights, DEEDEES, DeeDee'sLights.com, and check out some of her fantastic candles. Did I do Sinister? I did Sinister Footwear, didn't I? No.
Nope.
Sinister Footwear. Go to SinisterFW.com and purchase any of the wild and crazy socks that Tina sells. Use the promo code DCRSOCKS at checkout, and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. That's Sinister Footwear, SinisterFW.com. Phoenix Art Supplies and Framing of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. They are located on Route 611, otherwise known as Southeastern Road. And Jenny Schaefer has been providing quality framework and art supplies for more than 41 years to the Doylestown, Pennsylvania area and beyond. And I started out the whole show, didn't I, by saying we're at the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment?
I must have.
You want me to say it again?
Say it again.
All right, I'll say it again. We're at the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment,
Where you can hear us.
where you
also.
can hear us every Sunday
in.
night at 7 o'clock. Go to DecoEntertainment.com. And now that brings to us, or to mind, that people may or may not want to find us, how can they do or do not do that?
Of course they want to find us. They go to dcror.com, which is the short link for Dandy Coleman's rockonradio.com.
Correct. Instagram at Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. Facebook, Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2. That would be the number 2. Which brings us to our guests, Claire. Yay.
Woo.
Woo. Now, the name of it is Lost Art?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Because I was all confused earlier.
You?
And my fellow drummer had to straighten me out.
Well, they didn't want me to call it the Al Pepiak Experience anymore, so
That sounds good.
I'm
I
glad
like
Jimi Hendrix didn't listen to his
Yeah,
critics.
well,
that.
So please welcome from South Jersey's Belmar, New Jersey, Lost Art.
Thank you.
All right. Now you have arrived here because of Carrie McKay, right? Didn't you? How did you
No.
find out about us?
no, Jay Ryan.
Oh, Jay. Well, that's through Carrie. Okay.
Right.
That all right. I knew there was a connection there
and
somewhere.
6 degrees of
there's been
separation.
other people that you've interviewed that I know also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Jay and
Pete Scavallo,
Peter.
Oh.
Yeah,
Shay, and
Chuck.
Chuck M.
Mhm.
Who's the other one? Oh, Fearsome Fretted,
Mm-hmm.
Amber.
Amber and Anthony, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about
Cool.
that?
Yay.
So you're part of that whole. Do you frequent the open mics and things? as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Amber Anthony through an open mic, and also Pete. In fact, everyone.
Through open mics.
Yeah, through
which
open
one?
mics. There's one at an Episcopal Church in Winona, and then the other one is
Oh, you're drawing a blank.
no, the tap room in
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Haddon
oh,
Dave
Heights.
Kelly's, yeah.
Yeah. He
Correct.
He switched it from a couple of different other venues, and Coop I've met at the Barrington Coffee House, and has been now defunct for many years, and that place was infamous.
That I recall. I've actually been to the Barrington Coffee House years ago. Well, who did you bring along with you here, Al?
Well, my wife Sue, she plays bass, and Brian Cooper on percussion.
Okay, so your little trio you got going on here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, sometimes we do electric gigs, but lately most of the stuff we've been doing are acoustics. So
Okay, or have you been doing original?
we do almost exclusively originals.
I like it. Beautiful.
I've been writing songs all my life, and at some point, I guess I just kind of decided that that's what I'm going to do, and it limits the venues you can perform at. It limits the audience, but the people that do attend and do listen to the stuff have given me extremely great positive feedback, and it's that one-on-one that really, grabs you. When someone says, like, hey, that song you sang and the lyrics say blah, 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 who did that? And you say, well, I wrote it. And they're like, it stuns them sometimes. And, and that's the kind of stuff that really keeps me going and keeps me just chugging along.
Your answer just proved once again that venues value money over art.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
And I understand that.
Oh, sure. They're in business to make money.
They're right. They're not going to lose. money.
But even the ones that, I know these cats from back home, and they play 3 sets for $50. The guy that cleans up makes more money than that.
Yep.
So how much do they really value the musicians? Not really greatly.
It's getting harder and harder to find places that will encourage original music. The gigs out there for original music, venues, are just really slim pickings. and it just it's a shame, But we're navigating it as best we can. There are places where we've played original music, as Al said, where we've people loved it. They were really into listening to the original music. So, various porch fests and farmers markets, especially things like that.
Yeah, some
Really good.
breweries, and I'm very lucky that I have a few people that really have known me for a long time, and they really appreciate my music, and they really support my music, and they book us, and I'm just extremely grateful for that. But as Sue said, it's the farmers markets, the porch fests, the little neighborhood events and things like that, where we can get up, we can play my music, and we get a good reception, and it just it keeps you going, and it's not like you're a big fish in a small pond. You keep trying to expand and meet new people and whatever. There's so many people now on social media, and they chase clicks and likes and phantom downloads and all that stuff, and it's that's all well and good. You do your 1,000 Spotify downloads and you get your $1.50.
You get that much?
If you're lucky. But when somebody comes up to you in person and wants to speak to you about your music, that's really valuable stuff.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Absolutely.
I know one of the biggest thrills for singer-songwriters is when they go to an open mic or a gig and somebody comes up and requests one of their originals.
Oh yeah, I've had
Then they sing along, and it's even better.
I've had some local people even cover some of my songs,
that's cool.
which is really great. I've been out to California, Oregon, Washington State, Florida, New York, Connecticut, and and I get up and play, and people are receptive to my music, and that keeps me going.
Oh, yeah.
This exciting thing that that's happened that I just get so psyched about is when someone comes up to him and says, "That song was great. Who did that?" And then he says, "I wrote it." And they're like, "What? Oh my, what? Oh, we thought like some famous person did it." And I was like, you're doing something
I am
right,
famous
hon.
in my own mind. We did I did an open mic in Cape May at the Mad Batter. That's a really really great open mic down there. And I played one of my songs, and this guy's sitting like 3 feet in front of me, and he's insisting that it wasn't my song, that it was someone else's song. And the host of the open mic said, "Listen, he's been coming down here for the last like dozen years. I've heard the song many times. I have it on his CD. It's his song."
Yikes, that's actually a little scary.
Yeah, it was.
What song was that he was?
Never Leave This Town.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Yeah. It's funny because I heard that on your CD.
Yeah.
And that's what they say about where I grew up. So I was listening to the lyrics. I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. And I know somebody like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
And it was, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just play it right now while we're thinking about it? Never Leave This Town.
We could do that.
Or is that one of the ones you wanted to play or no?
We could do it.
Yeah.
You take requests.
Yeah. We're professionals. Ready? Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 4. She's waitress in a diner since she was 17. Her first husband's a loser, the second one just mean. Now she teaches her daughter wait tables on the diner floor. That's what happens when you never leave this town. That's what happens when you never leave this town. Well, we drove his daddy's pickup truck, he used his daddy's tools, joined his daddy's union when he dropped out of school. Now he just drinks away his life, sitting on daddy's bar stool. That's what happens when you never leave this town. That's what happens when you never leave this town. Well, I'm looking for a goddess, you know, I'm looking for a friend. I'm searching for the answers, I'll be looking to the end. You know, I'm looking for God, but he ain't in this town. That's what happens when you never leave this town. That's what happens when you never leave this town. Well, you don't become an astronaut just by getting high. You don't become a cynic without a teardrop in your eye. You know, you don't use up your chances if you never try. That's what happens when you never leave this town. That's what happens when you never leave this town. Well, you're never gonna leave. You'll never leave this town. Well, you're never gonna leave. You'll never leave this town. Well, you're never gonna leave this town. Well, you're never gonna leave. You'll never leave this town.
Lost Art with a song called
Never leave this town.
Never Leave This Town, live here on Rock On Radio. Excellent. So, what made you want to become a musician? Al?
Well, when I was a little baby, my mother used to put me in the playpen in front of the TV. And at that time, American Bandstand was almost 3 hours in the afternoon. And I subliminally took all that in. But that wasn't the real reason. The real reason was because of Roy Rogers, because cowboys played guitar, and I wanted to be a cowboy.
There you go. All right. Nice. Okay. How about you?
Well, I started out as a piano player. I guess I had lessons around 11 years old, 10, somewhere around there, and had lessons for many years. I was really very good. But I guess when I got to high school, I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I think I kind of associated, I don't know, girls or women with keyboards. I didn't like that image for some reason. I thought it was a cliche. I don't know why. It isn't, and it was silly of me. But I stopped, lessons, and I stopped playing keyboards. And I always loved bass. I always related to bass. So when I was 18, I started taking bass lessons from a well-known teacher in the area, Bob Newberger. Taught a lot of well-known guitar players in South Jersey, actually. So it was a, great privilege to have lessons with him. Had lessons for him for about a year and a half, and then I just kind of continued on my own. And just started playing bass with the first band that I was with, which was called The Trial. Only lasted a couple years, and And then, that band broke up, and then I met Al, and we started playing,
They
but
gigged at CVDVs, though.
yeah, got a lot of good experience, with that band, and, did actually get to play CBGBs and some other cool places
Were you
as
doing
well.
punk, alternate? What were you doing?
It was punk new wave. Yeah.
Okay.
Punk new wave. But I just felt a real affinity with the bass, and that kind of became my main instrument, from about 18 on. So, yeah, that's how it all started.
Who's your favorite bass player?
Wow, that I would say I have a few, that I feel like, a kinship with or whatever. And Whistle, of course, how can you not be influenced by his melodic
By
playing?
the Ox.
Yeah, huge, admiration for him, but also Dee Dee Ramone,
Really?
Yes. I love.
I was going
love
to say
his
Tina
timekeeping.
Weymouth, but
And yes, she was a big influence as well.
Oh,
love
there you
love
go.
Tina,
All right.
of course,
Better
of
ex than I
course.
thought of.
Yeah, always loved her. Steve Harris, of Iron Maiden, and Geddy Lee. They would be the big ones. In the 70s, believe it or not, I really admired John McVie's playing from
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac. I thought he was a great player. So yeah, those are some of the big ones.
McVie because he was so steady, or
Steady, very melodic. I like melodic playing, So yeah, but I also like that somebody who's like just a real timekeeper, like Dee Dee, such a great punk sound there, and Steve Harris. I love his style, the sort of a rolling thunderous kind of style that he had. It was a big influence on my playing.
Okay.
We were playing a CD release for our CD a few years back, and some of our friends went there. And when we play electric, we cover Chinese rocks. So it was towards the end of the set, and one of our friends yelled out, "Chinese rocks," and we're like, how are we going to do this on acoustic guitar? And we did, and now it's become like a signature thing. We
Yeah.
do an acoustic version of Chinese rocks.
Yeah, yeah. It actually turns out good.
Mr. Cooper, now are you just a percussionist, or are you a drummer as well?
Drummer, percussionist, multi-instrumentalist.
Okay.
Play some bass when bass players get sick and they can't make it. And some guy actually thought I was a bass player. A lot of open mics. There's a lot of drummers, not enough bass players, so I started playing bass a lot of open mics. But that's my second instrument. But drums, percussion, and a little bit of everything else. High school, I played some B-flat horns and played bass and guitar for the jazz bands and stuff. So yeah, I'm all over the place, but primarily drums, percussion.
Okay.
With these guys, it's primarily percussion with the cajon and hand percussion. Unless we do the power trio, then it's full rock out. I also play on the other side of the street with a cover band on a full kit, which right now is my role in electronics. Just try to keep our volumes down because bar owners like it when the bartenders can hear the drink orders. So, but
That
I'm
they
kind
do.
of all over the place. Yes.
That they do. So what made you want to play the drums?
This is going to sound very unartistic, but it was like right around the time of Woodstock in '69. I was 13, and my friend said, "Hey, a good way to pick up chicks is be musicians." I mean, it was a very and I discovered I liked it. They said, "You're going to be the drummer," and of course, living in New York at the time, big influences up there were Leslie West and Mountain. I mean, it was so I started. I don't know about influence. Norman Smart. The most in-the-pocket drummer. He's got lint on his hands. I mean, he is just so in the pocket. And, of course, he got replaced by Corky Lang, who's actually very much in the pocket most of the time and does a lot of very tasty fills. And I think most of my style actually goes back to the two of them because I played in a band and we did a lot of Mountain at the time. And, then, of course, going to the Cream and all those things. But that's kind of where it started. But Stuart Copeland, who I've been following a lot more lately, says, since I was born, I just like to bang on stuff. He said, when he turned 70, he was being interviewed. And he says, I'm 70 years old. I'm still banging on stuff. And actually, on my own Facebook page, I have pushing 70 and still banging on stuff. So, yeah.
So,
that's-
but did you, as a drummer, did you finally learn that the drummer doesn't get to pick up chicks?
no, the drummer gets to pick up his drums.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The last
and then
one
help
in,
and then help with the
first
PA
one there.
system. Yeah, first one in, last one out.
Coop is great with us, man. He sets up the sound, and I mean, we're absolutely indebted to him, and we don't make a lot of money, and any little money we do get, usually Coop gets, because he's just been that, that loyal. And as he once said, I do it because I like your songs.
Yeah,
But
And that's
yeah,
big. That's
Yeah.
huge. You got to like what you
it
do.
was a long, circuitous road getting to Lost Arts over the years. But,
I've told this story on here before, but my son was 10. My drum kit was set up in the basement. He said, Dad, will you teach me how to play the drums? And I looked him dead in the face. I said, no. He was like taken aback. He said, no. I have 3 words for you. Play the harmonica.
yes.
He goes, why, Dad? You won't teach me? I said, okay, listen. I'll teach you how to play the drums. I said, but you're going to have to be there an hour before everybody else. And while your guitar playing buddies are at the bar, hanging out with the young girls and drinking beer, you're going to be tearing down your drum kit. You're not going to get home till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or later. Then you got to unload it. You're going to get to bed by 5 and have to get up for work at 7. Sit down.
Yep.
Sit him down. Give him a bunch of rights, bunch of lefts. He goes, there's got to be more to it than this, Dad. I'm like, oh, yeah. Go ahead. On the bass drum, give me 4 straight kicks, So now with your left foot, give me it on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the same with your right hand on that cymbal. Do the same with your left hand on that snare drum. So he tries to do it. He screws up. He tries again. He screws up. He goes, all right, you're right, Dad. I'll play the harmonica.
Well, but even then you end up walking around with 3 suitcases full of harmonicas so you can cover all the keys.
I would rather have 3 suitcases I could tuck under my arm and 1 little tiny microphone.
Yeah.
No.
the
But
unsung heroes, drummers are the unsung. That people don't realize how much setup and breakdown there is, and
God forbid, should the rest of the band get there before us, now they give us a space about the size of a couch cushion to set up a 4-piece drum kit in. No. Although I will say this. Our friend Bobby Boyd, him and I do percussion for, he plays the drums and I do percussion for a band called Rogues on the Run. And we were doing a gig last year and I look at his drum stands and I'm like, they look like they're aluminum. So I said, Bobby, are they aluminum? He goes, oh, yeah, game changer. I'll tell you, when we're done with the gig, I'll let you see them. You can pick these things up and literally carry them on 1 finger. They weigh like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds each. I said, aren't they sturdy? It's aluminum. I said, the way they put the tripod for the feet, he goes, check it out. And he's like,
Yeah, Bob's a monster.
they were the best $80 I ever spent. Now I can carry, and they have hi-hat stands made out of the same.
Yeah.
They're made by Yamaha. I can carry my entire hardware in a shopping bag,
Yeah.
and it feels like nothing. Huge difference. My otherwise my hardware box was on wheels. It was 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Now,
I used to pull the muscles in my shoulders trying to lift it in and out of the car.
in and out of the car.
My wife got me a set DW Ultralight stands. They're
Okay.
aluminum. And, the whole bag is like 30 pounds. And that's everything. It's, 2 straight stands, 2 boom stands, a hi-hat and snare stand. 1 little bag, about size of a good-sized submarine sandwich. Bigger than Hoagie's, New York.
Yeah.
Submarine sandwich. And, it was...
It's a game changer.
Yeah, it is.
Huge game changer.
The best loading I have is the Cajon.
Oh yeah. I have a couple of congas I drag around, but yeah, I get it. So, with that, when did you decide you wanted to start writing your own music?
Well, I started taking guitar lessons when I was in second grade. I was in my first band in sixth grade. And it was somewhere between there that I started to, they were just goofy elementary school kind of songs. And it developed from there where, eventually I was in bands in high school and we'd have a couple originals, but we mostly played covers. And then when I got into college, I just decided that, if I want to do this, I want to play original music. And I started out without a band, again, just acoustic guitar, going to coffee houses and that sort of thing, where I was told that I don't play folk music because I didn't play Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan and those type of guys. And I met up with a guy, and his goal was to play originals and try to make it on the scene. And we got together, we formed a band. For about 8 months, we were the darlings of South Street in Philadelphia. And things happened, and I wound up starting my own band and doing my own songs and never quit.
So he's cool. Did you ever play Dobbs?
Yes.
Ugh.
The Dobbs story I have would take 3 hours. I can't tell you that story.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
It's a rough one.
Some other time, perhaps. Dan.
Yeah.
That load in when you had to go in through the side. Oh, my.
yeah.
What a nightmare that was.
Yeah.
If I had a kit that day, I wouldn't have been able to. I think I would have turned around and went home.
Yeah.
On a street that was made for a horse and buggy.
Oh, we
Yep.
played Dobbs. We played Grendel's Lair, Ripley, Bigelow's, Bacchanal. That whole scene.
That whole
Lot of-
area.
Yeah,
there.
Bijou was already closed by then, so we never played the Bijou, but we did all
Grendel's
those.
Lair. I
clubs.
haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, they just knocked it down not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe about a year now. I can't remember. Yeah, putting up apartments, I guess.
What's your thoughts on that? We've lost, especially since the COVID pandemic, we've lost so many venues.
It's unfortunate because what it's devolved into is tribute bands and cover bands. And and please don't take it the wrong way. I have no disrespect for the really good high-level tribute bands and the bands. A friend of mine, he was making gazillions of dollars playing in a wedding band. And, those guys were amazing. They could go from Frank Sinatra to Taylor Swift to the Bee Gees to Led Zeppelin at the, in a moment's notice. But once these smaller venues closed down, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it used to be where you would walk into almost any bar and not expect to hear covers. You expected to hear an original band playing original music. And now it's the other way. It's so skewed in the other direction where bar owners just want background noise, put you in front of the TV. That you got the TV playing, you got, some guys playing Tom Petty, and and people are hooting it up at the bar, and the music isn't as integral as it was, and it's very unfortunate in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me getting my music out so difficult. And it's like we said previous, farmers markets, breweries,
Wineries,
community
yeah.
events, wineries, yeah.
We want you to come play in front of the 64-inch television during the finals of the World Cup.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that we're kind of victim because, 10, 15, 20 years ago maybe, they went to the whole sports bar.
Oh yeah. That was even longer than that.
Sports bar
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
So you've got nothing but televisions all over the bar.
Yeah.
And yet they still want music, but they won't turn the TVs off.
Right. Right. You're lucky if they turn the sound off.
Right. Yeah, and you're playing over it.
I've been in places where the jukebox is playing while the band's playing, or the performers where it's a duo or whatever, and that's just, in my opinion, unconscionable.
No, it's rough, and we just had this discussion recently about that the loss of venues, especially the loss of venues where you can play original music.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of gigs in Asbury Park and up that way. And over the 17 plus years I've done this show, I've been nominated for 8 or 9 Asbury Music Awards. And sad part is that the owner of the Saint, which was an original music venue in Asbury Park, he said, all these people up here tonight, one of them could be writing, or many of them could be writing the cover tunes of tomorrow. Because without original music, there will be no cover tunes.
Exactly.
And people don't look at it that way,
We did a Gloucester City concert series every year, and a couple of years ago, there was a guy that was a retired DJ from Philadelphia that happened to be in the audience, and he came up to me after our set and said, when you said you do original music, I cringed. And I'm like, why? He said, because so much of it is so bad. But I really enjoyed your songs. I really enjoyed your set. And I had to come up and tell you that. And then he went on to say, like, oh, well, I've been friends with Billy Joel and Hall & Oates and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah. And guess what? They all play original music.
No, you're right. I mean, somebody I know I'm very friendly with, we've had many a private conversation, is Cindy Drew. Cindy Drew,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So Cindy used to do that show, Street Beat, when she was on MMR or YSP, whatever it was back in the day,
Right.
highlighting local bands on original music. Other than, I don't even know, Jackson on WMMR used to do that, but I don't know if they still do. So how do you go about getting your music heard?
It's not easy. It's not easy. And like I said, it's, we're not going out there playing the 3-set $50 a night cover gigs, and that sort of thing. But, I try to keep a good presence on social media and put up new material and that sort of thing. And in the fall, I plan on recording another CD of new stuff, and and just keep going on. It's not a. I'm not driven by likes and clicks. I'm not driven by cash, obviously, even though cash is fine.
I won't turn it down.
Yeah, no, obviously, but it's more. I'm driven by the feedback I get from people when someone says that song spoke to me. I really enjoyed your lyrics. That's the driving factor for me. That's what keeps me doing it.
Well, I often talk about on this program how you can go look at, like, if you look around this room, it's littered with pictures of deco entertainment artists, right? Well, let's say if you look at those pictures on the door, there's a picture of Yanni, the album cover artist, and there's a picture of or not Yanni, yeah, I forget how to pronounce his name, and a picture of a dirigible, right? Which is something to do with a Led Zeppelin reissue they had out of here. I look at that Led Zeppelin reissue, and you've got lights coming out of the blimp, and we're shining up on the blimp. Right there. That's the perfect example. I say they're coming out, you say they're shining up. Art is interpretive. And you can look at visual art, and what speaks to you may not speak to you.
Exactly.
Or you. And what doesn't speak to me may drive you guys like, wow, that's just a beautiful depiction of man's inhumanity to man, you know. And I'm like, somebody threw paint at a canvas. What do you mean it, you know? And art is always subjective and interpretive. But with music, you really can't get that reaction. So when you do, it's always, oh, okay. Because even then, like I used the example a couple weeks ago of how Melissa Etheridge wrote Like the Way I Do. I thought she was talking about a man, you know, or another woman. She isn't going to love you the way I do, you know, that like some guy broke her heart. Well, you know, I didn't know she was, you know, a thespian at the time, you know what I mean? Things get interpreted in music based on your own thought process or experience.
Exactly, and that's why I brought up that occasion where the guy approached me, because so many people, and I got to be honest, I do it myself. You go to an open mic and someone says, "Oh, I just finished this outside in the parking lot while I was waiting to sign up," and you groan. You're thinking, well, that's how you value your audience. I mean, it's, to me, it's a bigger process than that. You know, when I sit down and write something, I really think about the words. I really think about how I'm putting it together. I think about hooks. I think about rhythms. I think about melody. It's not easy. Not everyone can do it.
Well, how long does it take you to write one of your songs, on average?
That's a loaded question.
Well, the reason I put it to you that way is because some people say, I started writing this when I was 12 years old and I didn't finish it till I was 40. Other people say, I wrote this in 15 minutes.
Well,
Other people say, I sat down one afternoon and I wouldn't give up till I was finished.
yeah, sometimes it just flows right through you and it's really automatic. Other times you're fighting it and it takes a while. I can't put a time limit on it. To me, music is always evolving. And the song that we did previously, Never Leave This Town, there was a line in there that I improvised at a gig. And after I did it, I realized, oh my God, that was so much better than the line you've been singing for the last 3 years that I changed it. So it's in flux. And that's why not having opportunities to play in front of people is bad.
No, you're 100% correct. I had these friends in a band out of Ambler, PA called Afferent Q. Bill and Star, and they had a drummer, Dallas. But whenever they did live gigs, they always asked me to do percussion behind them. And they had a 3 or 4 song EP. It was called Drinking with Hemingway. Great EP. And one of the songs that was on there was originally called Maiden Mother Crone, but their producer convinced him to change it to Louisiana because Starr wrote the lyrics and the melody to this and then brought it home to her then husband, Bill, and said, listen to this. Can you do this? She did it in 15 minutes on the roadside, bawling her eyes out because she had just left the nursing home where her mother was. And her mother had gotten to that point where she for the first time, didn't know who she was. And it hurt her so deep that she kept it together while she was there, but when she walked out, she just... And as somebody who's gone through that exact thing over the last month and a half, I know what that feels like. But she wrote it in like 15 minutes. Turns out it was like the most popular song on the EP. And there's some good tunes on that EP.
Yeah. It's sometimes that's the way it happens. It's I seem to work well under pressure, and
Okay.
I do. Some radio stations sometimes have contests, 24-hour challenge or whatever, and I'll sit back and I'll write something, and I'll put it out there, and I'll question myself: is this any good? And then I ask Sue, and she'll tell me yes or no. And usually it's yes, and I'm like, well, why am I so critical of my? I'm my own worst critic.
No,
I say songs are like children. Some of them you love unconditionally, and some of them not so much.
I don't care what level of musician you have reached. I don't care whether, you're the Rolling Stones, Pavarotti, or, Lost Art, or me. You could play a gig that the audience just loved and they were receptive and they were having a blast and told you you're fabulous. And as you're tearing down, you're going to look at, one of you's going to look at each other and say, yeah, but I screwed up that chord here and I screwed. We're never happy.
No, that happens all the time.
We're never happy.
All
Instead of
the
just saying,
time.
yeah, next time maybe, and thinking to yourself, maybe next time, you're going to point it out to somebody. Yeah, if I hadn't done this, or yeah, if I hadn't done that, or and they're going to say, well, hey, I screwed up. I didn't get the lead right in this.
The biggest, the hardest, most difficult part for me is to say, okay, it's finished, it's done, walk away.
Oh yeah, I got a buddy like that. Trust me. We did a
Because
5-song EP like 15 years ago. It's still not
I
done.
don't continuously listen to my CDs because I'll pick them apart, and that's counterproductive.
You know what? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. The drummer from Grand Funk Railroad, Farmer.
Mel Satcher.
No,
No.
Mark Farnham?
Mark Farner is
no.
a
Mark
guitar
Farner's a
player.
guitar player.
Dan Brewer.
Dan Brewer.
Brewer.
Thank you. He said he told me one time. He says, "Danny, you know what's the matter with music today? There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes." He goes, "I listen back to our old albums, and I'm like, oh boy, I wish I could have done that different. We made a mistake. Harmony might be a little off, a note might be a little off, but back in the day, you let it go, you let it roll."
Yeah. Yeah, we did a gig in January, and this one guy came up to me. He says, "I like the way you speed up and slow down." And it's like, I said, "Thank you, but I don't speed up and slow down. I play eighth notes and 16th notes and quarter notes, and it sounds like I'm speeding up and slowing down, but I'm still in time."
Right. Now it's funny you say that, because I'm going to respectfully disagree with you, because when you give a live performance, you're never perfectly in time.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because there's always something that's a little faster, a little slower, or you might be just a hair off here and there. And I don't care how good a drummer you have. Unless it's a machine, you're going to be, there's at some point, something's going to go a little goofy. Not that it's going to last long, but there's going to be a spot. Bill Kirchen, guitar player, right?
Oh yeah.
Titan of the Telecaster. I'm fairly friendly with Bill. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he said to me one time, whenever I record, I never use a click track because music needs to breathe. If my drummer, when I play live, if he speeds up or he slows down, we go with him, and I look at him like, okay, what's going on? And then he goes, but that's what he was feeling at that moment, and that's what music is. You need feel. So I never use a click track when I record. And then you would give me the thumbs up.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I feel the same way. But let's do some more music.
Sure.
What do you got, a Rickenbacker there?
Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah. This is.
Like Getty.
Yeah. In the early days.
My
He's
very
not playing Rick anymore, but yeah. He did.
I have two friends. Number one, when I was 14, very first band I was in, he came from a very musical family. At the age of 14, he was playing a fretless Rick.
Yeah.
All right. The second thing is Getty. There was a band I was in. It was a 10-piece band. We used to create a fake radio broadcast on stage using the music from 1960 to 1976.
Mm-hmm.
Like an AM radio during the Boss Jock era. So like the Jim O'Briens and the,
Joey Reynolds.
right, those kind of guys.
Yeah.
And our bass player had this Fender, I don't know, it wasn't a Precision or a Jazzmaster, whatever it was a Fender bass of some sort.
Right.
And he was looking to sell it, so we put it in his bass for him. Well, one of Geddy Lee's bass techs saw it, contacted him. Geddy Lee not only bought the bass from him, but gave him an autographed copy of his book, the Big Book of Bass or whatever it is,
Oh wow.
and took a picture of it once he got it and signed the picture and sent it back to him. Thanks, Frank, for all, So Geddy Lee, it was a powder blue finish, so it was like very rare, and he didn't have one of these, and he wanted it. So my buddy's bass is now in Geddy Lee's collection.
Yeah. He's got quite the collection.
That he does. All right, so what are you going to do for us?
Okay, we're going to do a song called Faster Than Angels. And
I like this one, too.
This song, I was contacted by one of the producers of, I don't know if you get WHYY TV up here. Mm-hmm. You do? And they were doing during COVID, it was a living room concert series, and she asked me to record. She had seen me perform before, and she'd asked me to record some of my songs and submit them. And so, I won't make the story longer than it should be, but
we have 2 hours.
It took us a while. It took us a while before we got a video that they accepted, and they played this song, and when they were supposed to air it, like 2 weeks before, I'm getting people like, "Al, I saw you on TV," and I'm getting people like, "Wait a minute, they're not supposed to air this until such and such a date," and they kept airing it, and even long after the series was done, they kept airing the video, and I contacted the producer that originally contacted me, and I asked, could you tell me how many times they played this? She says, that's a good question. I don't know. And could you tell me, how about others? What kind of, time, not, how many times were theirs played? Well, I found out that my song was played in like around 400 times or so. And it was one of the favorites of another producer of the program, and she just kept putting it in there whenever she could, which was fantastic.
That's a beautiful thing. That's right.
And I found it linked in from PBS stations as far away as Oregon.
Yeah. So
Nice.
So this song, what happened was Sue was doing getting a group together with all women, and this one woman came over for a rehearsal, and she was very distraught because she had some bad news at the doctor that day. And I kind of told her, worry when you have to worry. Don't worry before you need to worry. And later that night, I have insomnia, so I don't sleep much. I'm watching TV, and there's this guy talking about having a motorcycle accident. And he said, well, the trick on riding a motorcycle is not to ride faster than angels can fly. And I go, wow, that's a great concept. So put it all together. Here it is, Faster Than Angels. Stop your worrying, baby. Wipe away your tears. We all got something to live for. Don't give in to fear. You can fly faster than angels fly. Gonna keep me on the ground. You can fly faster than angels fly. They're gonna keep you on the ground. Some people say I'm lucky. Other people, they tell me, stay strong. Some folks, they just want to talk about the darkest hour. Other people, they're sleeping way past dawn. You can fly faster than angels fly. Gonna keep you on the ground. You can fly faster than angels fly. They're gonna keep you on the ground. Some people chasing rainbows. Other people, they got their heads way up in the clouds. I've seen a lot of people lined up. They're going nowhere. Me, I'm just living my life out loud. You can fly faster than angels fly. Gonna keep you on the ground. You can fly faster than angels fly. They're gonna keep you on the ground. Some people say I'm lucky. They're gonna keep me on the ground. Stop your worrying, baby. They're gonna keep you on the ground. Stop your worrying, baby. Stop your worrying now. Stop your worrying now.
Lost Art here on Rock On Radio. Fantastic. Websites, social media, what's the best way to find you guys?
We have a website. It's www.lostartmusic.us. On Facebook, we're Lost Art. On Instagram, we're Lost Art. On Twitter X, you can find me, Alex Pepiak. YouTube, Lost Art Music. And if you need to email, you can email me, alpep, ALPEP, at lostartvintage.com.
There you go. Look at you with all your 3x5 cards. He's
did my
he's all organized.
I did my research.
Oh, that's one thing I can say I've never done.
I can vouch for that.
So, okay, why Lost Art?
Oh, do you remember the club Emerald City in Cherry Hill?
Yeah.
I used to live there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights for like 3 years. And I remember I grew up in Camden, and I was driving there from my house, and I'm listening to local college radio station. And if you remember, at that time with the punk and new wave, there weren't a lot of guitar solos. There weren't a lot of, everything was compressed, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're done. So I forget what the DJ played, but he played a song, and he said, solos like that are a lost art now. And I thought, lost art, that's it. So you could see how long I've been using that name.
Well, that's sadly, it's sad but true, So, what did you grow up listening to as a kid?
Well, in my first band, we played a lot of. Okay, radio was different back then. Mm-hmm. You listen to AM radio, they played rock, they played soul, they played everything.
Right.
It wasn't just, this is rock music. This is, they played, easy listening.
They'd go from Frank Sinatra to Cat Stevens to Aretha Franklin.
Right.
There was no, right.
Right. So, I told you previously, my first band I was in 6th grade, and I was asked to join the band because I had a matching guitar to the bass player. So that was
It's important back then.
It was very important. So we played stuff like Expressway to Your Heart and a little bit of soul, Wipeout, Hang On Sloopy.
Played that stuff in my first cover.
Wait Till the Midnight Hour, Gloria. All that kind of, it was a real mixture of Muscle Soul Shoals and just like stuff we liked that we heard on the radio.
Right.
And so that was the kind of stuff that I started listening to. If you want to ask about guitar players, my two influences back then were Jimi Hendrix and Johnny Winter.
Okay.
I loved Johnny Winter. It was just, I couldn't figure out how he was doing it. I remember reading an interview in Guitar Player magazine where he said he used a thumb pick. Well, he never said he used his other fingers, so I went to the music store, and I got a thumb pick, and I'm like, I don't get it. But yeah, I really love Johnny Winter. And obviously Hendrix. I often say that to what chord melody is to jazz players, Hendrix is my chord melody teacher.
There you go, for rock.
Yeah.
Johnny Winter, I was fortunate enough to meet him. Yeah, I did a meet and greet with Johnny Winter at the New Hope Winery.
Oh, wow.
And Johnny, he could barely see,
Yeah.
And he was clean at this time. And his road manager and tour manager was also his guitar player in the band, a gentleman named Paul Nelson. I met Paul that night, and him and I stayed friends long after Johnny passed away, until Paul passed away unexpectedly some years ago. And Paul used to tell us like some of the stuff. Like when I met Johnny, we went in his trailer, so we're hanging out inside, me and a radio show guest and my buddy, and we're in there, we're talking, and we meet Johnny, and the guy who had won the meet and greet asked him about a certain guitar, and he totally remembered it, right? But then when it came time to take a picture with Johnny, Paul is over there snapping his fingers. John, you got to look this way because he couldn't see. And when it came time, you know who opened for him that night? Paul Plummer. I opened for him that night. When it came time for Johnny to go on stage, they literally had to walk him in, and he was all hunched over. And they sat him in a chair. Looked like a chair from an old elementary school desk. But boy, when they dropped that guitar in his hands, it's like he was 20 years old. I mean, he was just like lightning quick, and he was everywhere. Johnny, Paul Nelson, whenever he would play the Lizzie Rose Music Room in Tuckerton, Paul drive down from Connecticut. He would always call me, hey, you got time for me? And he would always stop. We'd create a special radio show for Paul. Mm-hmm. And he told us, were you with me that day? He told us that story about Johnny Winter. Probably. When his nose ran.
Maybe. I don't remember.
He said he's outside and Johnny comes back in and he had a runny nose. And he said, what the heck is this? Look at me. He goes, what? He goes, look at my nose. He goes, Johnny, you have a cold. He said Johnny was so hepped up on pills and things prior to that that he never had a cold. And he didn't realize that he had a cold. And he's like, I'd take Johnny outside. There'd be birds chirping in the bushes and things. And he'd be like, what the heck is that? He said, like, Johnny Winter was so far removed from real life until he sobered up. Yeah. That it was, an interesting experience. And then unfortunately, he died like 8 months later. Mm-hmm. So those things are always kind of interesting. And you mentioned Johnny Winter, and he influenced a lot of people in a lot. So did his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Edgar.
Edgar's fantastic.
Yep. And you said you liked Rush back in the day.
Very much. Still do.
Yeah. What made you a Rush fan? What album?
I think it was 2112 did it for me. And then, everything after that was just so great, I mean, of course, Moving Pictures, everybody loves Moving Pictures. Mm-hmm. That's the masterpiece. But, after 2112, that was it. I became a huge fan. Then, listened to their older stuff that I liked, But they really, that was the album that really, they grew in that particular direction.
Oh, yeah.
That they were meant to go. That was the one that did it.
I was in high school, and my buddy, I was in the marching band, and we were all the snare drummers, And my buddy says, have you heard these guys yet? You got to listen to this guy. He's incredible. They call him the Professor. And he shows me Hemispheres. Yeah. He said, you got to do La Via. Yeah. It's an instrumental, but I'm like, holy cow. Yeah. So from there, I went back to their first album, and I'm like, well, that's not the same. That can't be the same drummer. I'm thinking, of course it wasn't. But, Working Man, and then Fly By Night, with I Think I'm Going Bald, and all. These guys are cool, Yeah. And then I heard, then it was 2112, and I was like, oh, man, Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
Absolutely.
For me, as a drummer, my cousin gave me Zeppelin 4 for my 12th birthday. I've been playing drums about a year, 6 months to a year. I can't. And she's like, if you're playing drums, you got to listen to this guy. So I listened to the first side, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then I got to When the Levee Breaks, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done. And as her friend Walter says, I've had lead poisoning ever since. That's what did it for me. Yeah. As a drummer, what did it for you?
Oh, listen, I go back to the old era of Mountain, and that's where most of my influence comes. But since then, I mean, Ed Shaughnessy on the Tonight Show.
Oh, orchestra.
God. I mean, see, when I started out, somebody made a snarky comment, you should take drum lessons. So I called their bluff, and I did. And my drum teacher was a very popular drummer up in Staten Island. I guess from here it's over in Staten Island, not up. He said, put away your Sabbath and stuff. He says, you're going to learn jazz. He taught me to read music, taught me rudiments, and I actually had to look up some of the song titles, but In the Mood, Little Darling, Satin Doll, those are the jazz songs that he made me play. Right. And that affected me throughout. So I don't have among any contemporary artist any one favorite. I could sit down and watch a Gene Krupa video, or
Joe Morello.
Joe Morello. Yes,
Joe Morello.
You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of the music I've listened to over the years, of course, Hal Blaine, people like that, with the Wrecking Crew and stuff. That's where I've drawn everything from. So I don't have. I hear everybody screaming, Bonham's the greatest drummer in the world. He's great at what he does. For Led Zeppelin, he was the greatest drummer they ever could have had. I had to do a show last year where it covered a lot of Who. Now, I'm a pocket drummer. Yeah, you try playing Keith Moon when you're a pocket drummer. It doesn't work. And I found a couple of grooves that would work for me to do it. And I did the show where he says, "Wow, you did that great." And I said, "Well, because I cheated. I found a way to get into the pocket and still sound like Keith Moon." But that my taste is so across the board. And now doing original music. See, I do cover band. I also do the original music. So I walk both sides of the street. And the original music, I get more creativity in.
Plus, if you make a mistake, nobody knows.
Well, that's true.
I
Think
know.
it's supposed to be there.
Well, I mean,
Well, what happens is when I write a song, I'll go to Sue and I'll say, this is what I'm thinking. And I'll go to Coop and this is what I'm thinking. And sometimes they do it and it's fine. And sometimes Sue will say, "No, I'm not playing that." And she'll come up with a totally different line that just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Or the same thing with Coop, I'll say like, do the scratcher, Coop, do the shaker, do the, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'll say, well, how about this? Or sometimes it's half shaker, half cajon. It all works.
yeah. But see, if I went and just patterned myself after any contemporary drummer since 1969, I wouldn't play the way I do. So I try not to get too deep into any one drummer. It's like, you talk about Rush. That gal they got now in Rush, she is phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Annika.
it's hard to tell the difference. But I mean, I don't have any one go-to anymore.
Well, the gentleman I mentioned earlier, it's a friend of Claire's and mine, Bobby Boyd. His drum teacher was Bernard Purdy.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I've heard of him.
to be able to play the Purdy shuffle, it
Yes.
sounds so simple, but it's really, you gotta be on point with simple things.
Yes.
Like that. So it's, your teachers do just that. I wanted to be in a high school marching band or concert band because I heard they were going to Bermuda in my freshman year. And I'm like, well, I want to go to Bermuda. So I switched drum teachers, and he taught me how to read drum music and how to play, various jazz things. Gave me one of Carmine's books as far as, the whatever the rock drumming, modern drummer rock book was
Got that book
Carmine
home.
wrote, right?
Syncopation for the Modern Drummer. The
Yeah,
blue
something
one.
like that.
Yeah, every drummer has to have that book in their
The
catalog.
blue cover and the red
Yes.
binding. Yeah, that's it. See, we know. So you can, and then there are very few people like you around, Al, that have original music and stick to playing it. They all succumb to I got to play some covers because,
We do 3 or 4 or 5 covers, within like a 3-hour set, 3 hour.
Yeah.
But it's eclectic stuff and it's stuff that I want to play. I mean, I don't want to slag anyone that plays covers because
I'm in a cover band.
It takes talent.
Yeah.
It takes talent to do that and to do it well.
Correct.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there that are posers and they're just
Well,
sawing
you
away on
mentioned
the guitar.
earlier a little bit of soul and the
Oh
other
yeah,
songs.
yeah.
1981, I graduated high school, and right before I graduated, the band my very first band ever, I left for various reasons, and about 3 months after I graduated high school, my buddy, who was several years older than me, I knew his sister. She was around my age. But he had to have 4 or 5 years on me. He come around the corner and saw my other friend outside of his house. He goes, which one of these houses is Danny's? And he's like, that one. And none of us were home. He goes, well, if you see him, tell him that I have an opportunity for him to jam with a band. He had heard that I had quit the other band. So when I come home, my buddy looks at me and goes, Sammy Lombardo was here. I was like, yeah. He said, he wants to know if you want to bash. Bash? Bash what? So he goes, just get in touch with him. So, back then, I had to look up his phone number in the phone book. And, So, and I wound up being in a cover band that did mostly 50s, 60s, and some early 70s music.
Yeah.
And that's the type of stuff we were playing because people liked it. They would dance, they would sing, they would,
Exactly.
That's the stuff you had to do.
The thing is, people want to have a good time. And you have to be cognizant of that as a performer. And, okay, perhaps I'm a little conceited, and I think my songs will provide that good time to the people. But I believe that. I honestly believe that. So we do my original music. And I can't think of any time where it didn't go over.
Now, how did you meet Jay, who I simply adore?
Open mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and she's big in that Fierce and Fretted.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. She's actually asked me, and I'm trying to put something together that's just me. And we're talking about covers. So it's like, okay, and I haven't done that in a while because about 10 years ago I was trying to do a group. It was just some other women. We were all women artists. And we did some eclectic covers, and it was called the Jersey Peaches. And I have to say that we have Brian as our drummer, so it was not all women artists. Excuse me.
I told you drag was going to cost extra.
So gotta get a bigger cut.
And it just goes to show you my memory's going because I was thinking about the very first iteration, and it was the three of us. And then Brian, and then the one woman didn't play with us anymore. So it was just two of us. Anyway, I don't mean to get off on that, but we, I'm thinking about, doing that with Jay. So I'll have to put together, some covers, and it would just be kind of like more of a focus on me, doing some covers, So, but like I said, it'll be a throwback to something that I was doing about 10 years ago. So we'll see. But yeah, we've known Jay for a while now.
Yeah.
Several years, from the open mic.
Yeah, now that you had said that,
Yeah.
she reached out to me, and she said, will you have this guy on your show? And I'm like, of course, why? She said, I'm going to send him, hook him up.
Well,
with you."
Jay was doing her own interview type backyard thing, and I think she only did 2 or 3 of them, and I was one of the people. And
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Good. You want to do some more music?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what you want to do?
This song's called I'm Free. And I went out to Jorma Kalkinen's Fur Priest Ranch for a songwriting seminar. During the pandemic, he was doing these free shows every Saturday night, and I was watching them, and I was like, wow, I love Jorma. I used to go to, hot tuna shows and everything, and I just kind of put them in the back of my mind, and I got so enamored, I said, I'm going to go out and go to one of these songwriting seminars, which I did. And what happened was the topic for, like I said, I work well under pressure. The topic was write a song about how you feel at the end of the day, either your end of your work day or, if you don't work, just, what do you do? Relax and whatever. And I started writing, and it didn't really go anywhere. And one of the guys from the session walked by and said, Al, how you doing? And I told him, he said, hey, you got to just pare it down to like something small, which I said, you're right. So I threw everything out. I started from scratch. I had this capo in my case, which gives you a dadgad tuning. And I started messing around with chord shapes and came up with this tune. And the next day I went into the class and I was like, well, I got this song, I don't know, and I played it, and there was this, after I was done, there was this silence, and I was like, oh no, it really stinks. And then everyone like burst into applause, and I was like, okay. So anyway, it's called I'm Free. Ready, guys? Mm-hmm. 3, 4. Papa hated work every day of his life, but not me. Carried a tin lunch pail to the factory. I hate this job, I hate this life, I hate this 9 to 5, not me. Grandpa lived and died on his farm, not me. Up early, fed chickens, milk cows, not me. I never stood behind the plow. I never grew crops, I'll never know how, not me. Mama worked behind the desk, not me. Dressed up pretty every day of her life, but not me. When she came home, she was a wife. She cooked the meal, she lived in strife, not me. I'm just a troubadour, I'm free. Going to town, I play music, I'm free. I'll make you laugh, I'll make you smile. Even if it's just for a little while, I'm free. Papa said, some people work every day of their lives in jobs that they hate, but not me.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Lost Art here on Rock On Radio websites and everything again.
LostArtMusic.us, Lost Art on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter X, Alex Pepiak, and on YouTube, Lost Art Music. You can reach me at Alpep, ALPEP, at LostArtVintage.com.
Beautiful. Now, you mentioned Staten Island earlier, Brian. Where are you from originally?
Well, I hate to admit, I was born in Brooklyn, but I went to Staten Island, pre-bridge. Saw you people out there, pre-bridge Islander, in the early 60s. That's a status thing up there, you're pre-bridge. And my father got transferred down by Philadelphia, so I ended up going down to South Jersey in 72.
Oh, okay.
So, and of course, when you move into a new high school, nobody wants to talk to you, especially when you get that thick New York accent. So it was tough. Outside the band room, I have no memories of the 2 years I was at that high school. And it was a lot of years before I started playing music again because nobody knew who I was.
Right.
Thank God for band.
Right?
Yeah.
Where do you live now?
I'm at Laurel.
Oh, Mount Laurel.
In Mount Laurel,
okay.
Yep.
It's odd when I started it. When I first started at UPS back in 1989, I made the union, and they sneakily, until my shop steward found out about it, sent me up to Staten Island. And I delivered the new Dorp section up there and the Ebbets Avenue apartments.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly, which was a funny experience. So here I go walking in, and there's a security guard, and I got 4 or 5 stops on the hand truck, and he says, hey. He says, where you going? So I got delivery for apartments, whatever they were. He goes, you just wait right here, son. He goes into the office and he comes out strapping a gun on his waist like a cowboy out of a saloon. And I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" He goes, "You're not going up there." He says, "It's tough enough for us, let alone some little white boy." And I was like, "Okay." So and he went with me to make all the deliveries with a gun strapped to his. And I'm like, "Oh man, what happens if somebody opens fire?" I'm thinking, right? But yeah, that was my experience in Staten Island. But how about you, Sue? Where are you from originally?
Audubon, New Jersey.
Okay, so South Jersey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And,
Born and bred.
And you guys live in Belmar now, you said? All right. How about you too, Al? Same
No,
thing?
I do live in Belmar, but I grew up in Camden.
Okay.
You had mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Is that where you are from originally, Camden?
Well, I was born in Abington, PA, but
Okay.
my parents lived in Camden.
All right. Nice. Whereabouts in Camden? Anywhere good?
Back then, it was all good.
Yeah. True story.
Whitman Park section.
Well, okay. I came out of a Foreigner concert down at the
Oh, but
the amphitheater,
right.
and it was pouring rain, and I couldn't see, and I accidentally destroyed my pickup truck because I took a turn too tight, and I caught it on one of the gates, and the latch from the gate went right in the side of the pickup truck, and when I pulled around, I hit a curb and blew my tire. I mean, it was raining, so and I got my daughter with me. I was sent down there to cover Foreigner and might have been Don Felder or Leonard Skinner or somebody was down there. They were playing
Right.
together. So I took her with me, and she was taking the pictures for the article I was going to write. So I managed to limp out of there and pull into the projects right next door. And my daughter, her whole life, I trained her, taught her, and trained her never to panic. Well, my daughter starts having a panic attack. She's like, "Dad, we're going to get killed. We're not supposed to be here. Look, they're making drug deals." I said, "Lissa, they're like, these people that are selling drugs and stuff, they're like bees. If you don't bother them, they're not going to sting you. Leave them alone. If they see you're panicking." So now I got to call AAA, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's going to be about an hour." "An hour? We're going to die." I'm like, "Relax, it's Camden. We're not in the middle of, Vietnam in 1968, for God's sake." Yeah. But it's funny because Camden was such a vital part to the music industry.
Oh my God, RCA. Yeah.
RCA Records, the first
Yeah,
first
when I-
vinyl record ever pressed was in Camden.
I went to undergrad school at Rutgers in Camden, and I used to walk past the church where they recorded all those famous, records.
Right.
Everyone from the Carter family to Caruso, and then one day the bulldozers were there and they knocked it down.
Yeah.
It was,
Have you ever been to the Vault
oh yeah,
on Black Horse
sure,
Pike?
of course,
Right?
yeah.
Graham's got that consortium of, they were young men considering. I mean, they were only in their 30s when they put all that money together and bought all the
Oh yeah,
sheet music and all of
Right.
the cells and all of the
yeah.
and the equipment from RCA. I mean, that's a great little venue.
Yeah, it's cool.
That Victrola that's on the receptionist desk when you walk in, I got that exact same one.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
1910 Victor. And I've also got a 1915. And I've got a Caruso 78 that's only got a song on one side.
Right.
The other side's
Right.
blank.
Yeah, they used to do that.
Yeah. There were no B-sides back
Nope.
in the day. So take us through a songwriting process. I mean, what do you do?
Songwriting.
Do you do it by
process.
yourself? Do you wake Sue up at 3 a.m? Well,
I'm up most.
and
of
then
the-
call
most of the
Brian at
night.
3:05. I mean, what do you do to?
I text people all hours of the night, and they get mad at me. And most of them now know to shut their phones off on silent mode, so they don't get a text from me. But songwriting process. Sometimes it's a melody. Sometimes it's a chord structure. Sometimes it's a topic. And I can't really exactly say what it will be when it will be. It's how it hits me. This may sound like a cliche, but I have music playing in my head all the time. And I'm serious about that. It's playing all the time. And sometimes I stop to go, oh, hey, wait a minute. I got to remember this. I got to, write this down. I have to think about these lyrics. I have to, and other times I just let it go. So, it's sometimes it's very easy. Sometimes it's very complicated.
So you are the man then? You do the lyrics and the music?
Yes.
And then you just drop your parts in? Or?
Yeah, he usually doesn't, come to us until he's got pretty much a finished product. Like what
Yeah.
it is in his head, and then he'll say, "This is what," and then I'll listen to that, and I'll be like, "This is what I want to put as a bass."
Yeah,
in there.
the
And
last
Brian
song,
does the same thing. I think
the
right?
last song that we did, I played it for Sue, and she's like, I have an idea for a bass line, but I want to work on it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And she worked on it, and it was like, wow. It was really something that just transformed the song. And it wasn't, even though we rehearsed it and everything, it wasn't until we went in the studio and we recorded it, and I listened to the playback, and I went, oh my God, that changes the song so much, just that bass line. And it so sometimes there's those happy accidents that happen. And
That seems to be the way we usually work, though, and
Yeah.
it's been working well.
yeah,
For us.
I don't, I'm not draconian when it comes to that stuff. It's like, you guys know your instruments. I have an idea in my head. I'll convey that idea. If that works for you, great. If you have something that you think will work better, throw it out there. Let's try it. Sometimes sometimes I say, well, let's go back to the original. But most of the time, it's okay. I like this.
Right.
I want people to be comfortable and enjoy playing my music, because if they don't enjoy it, then it's not going to come across. And I think as a unit, that comes across, that we're a cohesive unit.
Is it always just the three of you, or do you sometimes substitute different people? Or
For the last so many years, it's just been the three of us. Yeah.
yeah, it's when I was that kid. I told you that cover band I was in back in the early '80s. And when you were in a band back then, you were in the band. If you went and played with another band, you were like a traitor.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And now, you go to the 2000s, 2006, 2007, whenever I started going to frequenting Asbury Park, 2004, 5, whatever. And you find out this guy plays with that band, and that band. And then this one plays with that band, and that band. Yeah. Next thing I know, I found myself playing with this band, and then that band, and that band. And, you kind of get, it was great because for me, there was only one conflict in like 15 years where the band that was around here had a gig, and I'm like, I can't make it that day. I already committed to this. And he got kind of ticked off at me. He's like, are you my drummer or not? Well, yeah, I am, but I asked you 2 months ago if we had any gigs coming up because I'm being asked to do other things.
We get blackout dates from Coop, and and sometimes it will be just Sue and I will pick it up and do it, or sometimes just me solo.
Right.
So it's like we can add or subtract however we need to.
Well, sadly, Brian, we're expendable. We really are.
Drummers are a dime a dozen. That's why I started playing bass at open mics.
Especially though in a percussion role.
Yes.
They don't need background percussion,
I got
and
congas
some
in
of
the
the
garage,
venues don't
not
want
going
drums, and
Right.
So it's we're expendable. We accept it. You notice how I said that and how you right away just agreed?
Yeah.
Because acceptance is the key to happiness. Yes, you're not going to get all miserable because you can't fit into that couch cushion size space. How much time do we have left, Claire?
We have 18. 17, 18 minutes.
Wow, I just looked up at the clock. I was like,
It
wow,
went fast.
that went fast. Well, let's do some more music then.
Sure. You want to do Broken Halos?
Sure.
Or this time.
Either one is fine by me.
Okay. Let's do Broken Halos.
Okay.
If you want to do 2 back to back, go right ahead.
Okay, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Or we can play 4 back to back. Or we
Whoa,
can play,
hey.
we can play another 3 hours if you need to. Okay, this song's called Broken Halos, and it was inspired by when I read the Keith Richards biography. And somewhere in the book, he says something like, they're talking about breaking halos. I've been breaking halos my entire life. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting concept. So, came up with this song. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 4. My life is filled with broken halos, broken promises, broken dreams. Life's unfulfilled expectations. Yeah, the illusion is what it seems. Broken halos, broken dreams. Broken halos, broken dreams. My life is filled with broken people. I try, but I can't fix everyone. See, God didn't want me, no millionaire. 'Cause he knew with this guitar I'd be having so much more fun, you know. Broken halos, broken dreams. Broken halos, broken dreams. How do I fix this broken life? How do I fix a broken heart? How do I fix a broken halo that never should have broke right from the start? I tried to fix your broken halo. You know, I propped it straight up on your head. I should have guessed you just laugh at me, 'cause you had different plans instead. Broken halos, broken dreams. Broken halos, broken dreams. How do I fix this broken life? How do I fix this broken heart? How do I fix a broken halo that never should have broke right from the start? Broken halos, broken dreams. Broken halos, broken dreams. I won't fix your halo. Stay out of my dream.
Lost Art here on Rock On Radio. Very cool. You got one more you want to do?
Sure.
Or you want to wait a little bit and do
Yeah, we can do another.
it? Okay.
This time?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. this song, I started out writing it, and I had a story in mind. And then I said, what if I don't tell the story and I let the listener fill in the gaps of the story? And so I wrote it with a bunch of open-ending kind of things. And it's interesting because I get people, I know exactly what that song's about. It's about this and that. I'm like, no, it's not.
Which goes back to what we talked about earlier about perception and,
Yeah.
and art being interpretive.
Yeah. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Saw her on my TV, a rerun late at night. Saw her in my dreams when I woke up in fright. I'm not sure the consequence and I'm not sure of the rhyme, but I know I'll do things differently this time. I'd sell my soul, I'd sell my secrets from within. I dedicate my mind with rum and coke and gin. Never really understood turning water into wine, but I know I'll do things differently this time. Gave it all that I could take, I took all that I could make, but you can't fix that mistake. Stopped in for a sandwich and I gassed up my truck. It was my last chance till I ran straight out of luck. Had to get out of this town before the church bells chime, but I know I'll do things differently this time. Ran into her once in a while after her new start. We were really, really close, yet we were really worlds apart. I can't be held responsible for a life of crime, but I know I'll do things differently this time. Gave it all that I could take, it took all that I could make, but you can't fix that mistake. Can't be held responsible for a life of crime, but I know I'll do things differently this time. Yeah, I swear I'll do it differently this time. Gonna change it all around this time. I'm gonna make it right by you this time.
Once again, Lost Art here on Rock On Radio. Excellent. What do you have for upcoming gigs?
Okay. On Thursday, August 20th, we're playing at the Winona Farmers Market from 4 to 7. On Saturday, August 22nd, we're playing at the Haddonfield Farmers Market. That's from 9 to 12. And that's all we got right now.
No, Gloucester.
Gloucester is... When is Gloucester? That's August 11th
Yes.
at 7 p.m. and we open up for Ken Queter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah.
we...
He was on a bill. Where did he did the Doylestown Music Fest? Oh, did he? Ken Queter. He was the last act on. Remember, after it poured, he went on solo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've done a bunch of... We've opened for Ken. We've had co-gigs many, many times.
Oh, nice.
Ken's a good friend.
Yeah.
In fact,
What station he used to be on?
he wasn't on a station.
You mean as a DJ or?
Yeah, wasn't he on a radio station, Ken
No,
Queter?
no. Ken Cleater.
Never allow him to.
Ken Cleater and the Secret Kids.
Yeah.
That was his band.
Yeah, he performed solo at the Doylestown Music
Yeah.
Fest.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yep.
What did he do, Ken Queter? Before he became
We turned down a record deal.
Yeah, from Clive Davis, but that's an infamous story,
Yes.
and you can let Ken tell that.
yeah.
That's as much as a story to tell.
I know he did something in the media that,
Well,
or
he's-
some story I remember about him.
He's been
I
out
cannot
there-
recall it. Obviously,
He's been
at
out
this
there
time.
since the 70s, and he's
Yeah, he's been
still
around.
doing it, and
Yep.
he's still out there, and he plays his original songs. He plays, he'll play these college bar gigs where he's playing, Taylor Swift and what's that other one? Little Sharks, Tiny Sharks.
Baby Shark.
Baby
Yeah,
Sharks.
play Baby Shark.
That's it. Yeah.
Baby Sharks. Good Lord.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about doing this, Sue?
Wow. I just enjoy playing. You know what I mean? And I do love his music, and it's a chance to be creative, and still rock like rock on. I mean, we're still rocking on, So that's a huge part of me. Just love the music, and I'm glad we're still doing it and enjoying it, and have the opportunity
Until they
to do
plant
it.
me in the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I always liken it on this show to that old Looney Tunes where the guy gets bit by the gambling bug, or Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. Somebody gets bit by the gambling bug,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that," and the gambling bug bites them, and it's like, "But bet." It's like musicians are the same way.
Yeah.
We could give it up for 20 years, and somebody will come along and say, "Hey, I didn't know you played guitar." Next thing you know, you're booking studio time. You know.
Very true.
What made you do 2 live albums?
Well, the first one, people were bugging me. You need to put your tunes out there. You need to put your tunes out there. You need to put your tunes out there. So we did this gig. It was at Saxby's coffee shop, and this acquaintance plugged into the board, and it was a mini disc recorder, and he recorded us, and I really liked that performance. Now that I listen to it, the quality isn't where I would want it to be, but I really like the performance, that live performance, and that, so we put that out. So then when it came for the next CD, we went to Gradwell House in Hatton Heights, and I told these guys, I said, look, we play best in front of people. So why don't we book the studio? We'll invite a bunch of people to come in, and, it will be professionally recorded, and, and it just, I really like the way that sounds, and I really think we had a good performance.
I know a couple of people who did that. You remember, I guess, when Chris Christie was governor, he had a lieutenant governor named Kim Godano, and her brother, Pat, is a phenomenal musician, and he did that. And I can't remember what the album was called, but he did. He went to a recording studio, invited 25 people, bought about 10 pizzas, and said, "Here you go. There's free food and drink.
That's basically
be
what,
on my
what we
album."
did. I said, shut up while we're playing, count to 5 when we're done, and then applaud.
Right? That's it, essentially. Yeah.
And it worked out pretty well.
Oh, good. I always thought that was a cool concept. And if the recordings are done correctly, you have a nice
Yeah,
semi-live album.
I think we feed off of people, at least I do. I'll speak for myself. I feed off of people. I feed off the reactions, and and it just, really works well for me.
Goes from there. Websites and everything again.
LostArtMusic.us, Lost Art on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter X, Alex Pepiak, Lost Art Music on YouTube, and email is alpep@lostartvintage.com.
Okay, and your upcoming gigs again are?
We have the Ken Cleater gig,
Which is August 11th.
11th,
Yes, at Gloucester.
at Gloucester City Summer Concert Series. That's at 7 o'clock. And then August 20th, Winona Farmers Market from 4 to 7. And then August 22nd, Haddonfield Farmers Market, 9 to 12.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for making the trip. Brian, you have a cover band as well?
Right now, just one, yeah.
All right.
I did freelance for quite a while.
I feel your pain. That was me for quite a while. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for making the trip all the way from Belmar instead of Belmar.
Are we allowed to pronounce the W?
No, we always say Belmar, and then the next
Belmar.
thing is
Yeah.
down
Where's
South
Belmar?
Jersey, not the shore.
Yeah.
It's like Newark
Exactly.
and
Newark
Newark.
and Newark,
Yeah.
right?
It's always
Right.
near Philadelphia.
Yeah.
South.
Or I'll spell it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that
Thank
to
you.
reduce the confusion.
Well, I appreciate you guys making a trip up.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
So
you.
good to meet you, and
Yeah.
many thanks to Jay for recommending that you come in. And until next week, rock on! Welcome to a Rock On Radio bonus feature. I recently got a 10-song LP from a gentleman named R.G. Evans, who lives way down in South Jersey. It's his latest release, came out about 2 weeks ago. It's called Haunted. Fantastic songwriter, fantastic literary man. Here's R.G. Evans with the title cut, Haunted. Rock on.
It's not the wind outside my window that keeps me from my sleep. It's not this empty bed beside me or the way this old house creaks. It's the face in the shadows that troubles me the most. Haunted eyes that look like mine, but it's no ghost. I am haunted by the man I used to be. He died unwanted, and he's buried inside me. But he lives in all my nightmares and my woman's memories. Will he walk with me through eternity? The man I used to be is haunting me. The man I used to be is haunting me. He was the genie in the bottle I uncorked when I was young. He was the whiskey in the wishing well where the broken bucket hung. Now he's howling after midnight, and he's rattling his chains, and he knows my greatest fear. I might join him again. I am haunted by the man I used to be. He died unwanted, and he's buried inside me. But he lives in all my nightmares and my woman's memories. Will he walk with me through eternity? The man I used to be is haunting me. The man I used to be is haunting me. Yea, though I am haunted by the man I used to be. He died unwanted, and he's buried inside me. But he lives in all my nightmares and my woman's man.